Hi, I'm Mike Ryan. In our ongoing series on the famous turquoise mines of America, today we're going to look at Godber Burnham. Now, the whole history of Godber Burnham is contained in Turquoise in America Part 2, 1910 to 1990. But for this video, we'll just have a brief overview, look at some jewelry with some beautiful Godber Burnham, and then look at the turquoise itself. Robert Burton, and Joe Potts were mining partners. Robert was a Shoshone Indian living in Austin, Nevada. And they would go prospecting, as many would in that time and in that area, looking for turquoise or hopefully any other minerals they could find. And they came across some float, and in late 1936, they located the Bluestone and the Last Chance claims, turquoise claims. These were the two that would become known as Godber Burnham. Now, Robert and Joe didn't have any capital. They had no means to really develop the mine. So they sold it to the Burnhams. Now, there's some speculation that they were brothers. In my research, I found that it's inconclusive. It may have been related, may not be, but they sold to the Burnhams in 1937. The Burnhams only had it for a year. They really mined it for one season. And then the Godber family bought the claim. And they had it for, 50 some years. Unfortunately, after Jenny Godber passed away, his brother neglected to keep up with the paperwork, which you have to do with these turquoise claims, and they lost the claim. It went through several hands, and today it is owned by Bruce and Jerry Woods. Now, the only purpose for turquoise is in jewelry. And it's always nice to see the turquoise in the jewelry, so I thought we'd look at a couple of items. The first is this bolo that I'm wearing, which is by Sunshine Reeves. And hopefully you can get a little better look if I step in here a little bit. And I know it's a little bit awkward here, but you can see Sunshine is really known for his stamp work and this beautiful stamp work surrounding this wonderful cabochon of Godber Burnham turquoise. In addition, we have a bracelet. Now, this bracelet was originally made by Kenneth Begay as a watch band. In the 50s, watch bands, Native American jewelry made for watch bands, was very popular. And this was an early example of overlay style. And Kenneth Begay was well known for working at the White Hogan in Scottsdale. And when I got this bracelet, I decided to repurpose it and add the turquoise. And Don Suplee made this beautiful bezel that you can see here to go with this wonderful gem grade Godber Burnham turquoise. So that's a brief overview of the history of Godber Burnham. And now let's take a look at the turquoise. In this tray, we see the wide range of looks coming from Godber Burnham. Now, I would really consider all of this to be high-grade turquoise. We'll see as we move through the tray how some of it is going to be considered very high grade or gem grade, the very highest grade that we assign, which really is just the top 1/10 of 1% of all turquoise. We start out here and we see at the top, I think this cab could come from any number of turquoise mines, as could this one. It has a very beautiful sort of a light sky blue color to it, with a matrix pattern that could come from almost any mine. Moving across here, we see a red web. Now, if I put this up next to a piece of Candelaria, I think it would be very hard for many people to differentiate between those two looks. As we go across on this side, we see the teal. And there's a lot of the teal color that comes from Godber Burnham. Moving down into this center section, we really see what I would consider the gem gray turquoise. And of course, this center zone is so spectacular because of its size. We have a size of well over 200 carats turquoise. And these other cabs are also very nice, big, beautiful cabs. Very hard, very dense, solid matrix. The bonding of the turquoise to the matrix is just so distinct, creates a real depth that I think is very important. You see this here, where we see almost this fiery look of the matrix with this turquoise floating over it. I had to include this cab down here because of the quartz inclusion. And Jerry Woods, and Jerry and Bruce are the owners of the Godber Burnham claims. That's her favorite, is when there's that quartz inclusion, and we see that right there. As I mentioned earlier, the name Godber Burnham is a marketing name. The actual located claims have different names. But here we see a marketing name for what is called Dry Creek. And the Godber Burnham claim is located on what was part of the old Dry Creek Ranch, which became the Domelli Ranch, which again, we provide all that information in the book. But it's a marketing name for the turquoise that comes from Godber Burnham that has this very beautiful, distinctive, almost like a white. It's a very pale blue, almost like a white look that is very desired in the marketplace. So here we've seen the wide range of looks, all in high-grade turquoise, coming from Godber Burnham.